Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get sixes, that's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia and trying to erase this deficit. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
A carry for Foreman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Taking it about the 16. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a carry for Blunt. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
After the interception, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, look good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up. Trying to improvise. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run with Foreman, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And the return will stop right around the 25. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On second down, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's third down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. On play action, they'll throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. SD wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Tucker with the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They're going to look to throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun now on third down. James has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Foreman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Leopard! No, check, Patriot!
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll set up to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal.
Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. steps away. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Heavy, got heavy. I got him.
Back to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's 3rd and 4.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we've just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
4 down. Gone.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, here's Blunt. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 46 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Detroit!
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And they'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete over the middle to Stewart. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's James. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So out comes the field goal team once more. This from 36 yards out. And Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Spinning past him. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.